Boom. All right. So 10 most profitable companies in the world, right? Coming hot off of Nvidia's earnings. So if we look at Apple, we see Apple net income 100 billion, revenue 381, market cap 3.29 trillion, right? So these numbers make sense. 100 billion revenue that they're generating is 381 billion a year, right? So they're generating about 400 billion a year, and they're at a 3.29 trillion market cap. Another $3 trillion market cap. We can see revenue is at 236, net income at 86, 3.32 trillion market cap, right? Skip a few of these, and a few of these, you got Google, of course, Berkshire. I don't even know what this one is. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, JP Morgan and Chase, of course, another Chinese company, Meta, and then we get to Nvidia, right? Do these numbers make sense? 42 billion net income, revenue is only 79 billion, but you're worth 3.34 trillion. Matter of fact, we can go down here. Revenue is for Amazon, 590 billion revenue, 1.9 trillion market cap. The revenue is ridiculous. The net income is about the same because Amazon, for whatever they're doing, Amazon barely squeaks out a profit. And we've been doing that for like the last 7 years, 6 years, or since I've been trading. But I'm just showing you how detached from reality the earnings for this company is and how inflated it is, right? The market cap, 3.34 trillion. Revenue is only 79 billion. Revenue for Amazon is almost 600 billion. Meta, 142 billion, and the market cap is only 1.27. This is why I keep saying that Meta is the one that I'm betting on. Meta is the one that I'm paying attention to. Revenue 142 billion. Market cap is only 1.2, barely above a trillion. Barely. We look at JP Morgan and Chase. Look at this. Revenue is 158 billion. Again, if we compare 158 billion from JP Morgan and Chase, and then we look at Nvidia, 79 billion only. Berkshire, 410. Again, and Berkshire just became a $1 trillion company. Nvidia, 3.34 trillion and only 79 billion. We go all the way up to Apple. So these are the real $3 trillion companies, Apple and Microsoft. Apple revenue, 381 billion, net income, 100 billion, 3.29 trillion. That makes sense. They've been knocking on the door of 3 trillion or been sitting at 3 trillion for about 2 years now. Microsoft revenue, 236. Again, Nvidia is only 79. So the net income for Apple and the net income for Microsoft is above the total revenue of Nvidia. So for anybody that says it's price for perfection, how? By what metric? What math? I just wanted to show you all this to show you why I like Nvidia. I get the hype, but it's way overblown. The numbers don't even make sense. People are betting on future value, and that's a dangerous thing to bet on, especially when you plan on adding this stock to your portfolio and holding it for, I don't know, 5-10 years.
I like that. Thank you, Ladarius. And also, Ladarius, I'm not sure if you can download this indicator on the chart for Ty to see. It's the SMI ergodic indicator. I actually use that when I try to see what's happening. Yeah, yep. That one right there. Mm-hmm. And when that crosses over, it's showing that it's coming down. And it's just made that crossover.
Yeah, these two just crossed.
And this has been like very, very, very consistent when I've been watching stocks. And it just crossed over for NVIDIA.
Yep. So again, this is why earlier we were doing a lot of fundamental analysis, and it just clicked to me that this is the same thing that happened with Tesla. And I always bring up Tesla because it was the last major trend, but this is a good thing to note for future trends because AI is eventually going to become normalized, just like EVs became normalized. We can't forget that NVIDIA has competition, and eventually they're going to catch up. NVIDIA is not going to, NVIDIA may stay the top dog, but eventually people are going to create products that can compete with NVIDIA. And so that's going to just level the playing field. So for people that think, again, that NVIDIA can keep just printing doubles and triples and every year, it's not going to happen. And so for the next stock, whatever we see in 2026, 2027, that's doing the same thing, just know, once it starts to get detached from reality, get out. Because again, that's what the big wigs are doing. You think that they're still sitting in this? No, they're slowly getting out. And they probably bought in or probably been holding this for years. 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. Some people have been holding NVIDIA for 10 years and are just now seeing this rise. So this is one thing that we have to make sure that we're doing. Technical analysis is cool, but then common sense is another thing. Market cap, again, just look at these three numbers. You wanna see something and compare the numbers is easy. Net income, revenue, market cap. Look at the top three: Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet. It makes sense. 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 3 trillion. But then you have NVIDIA, $3 trillion company that really hasn't proven itself. It proved itself for the last 4 earnings. These companies have proved themselves for the last 12 earnings, possibly 16 earnings. So am I saying to completely get out of NVIDIA? No. But there's definitely some consolidation coming up. And then again, the AI space is getting normalized. When you look at SMCI, this one has been a bloodbath. Let me switch over to the day.
That was today, right?
Yeah, this one has been getting smoked, and it's probably going. This is a bear flag right here. This is a bear flag. So remember, a bull flag is a strong move up, consolidation or a pullback, and a strong move down. A strong move back out. This is the opposite: strong move down, pull back up, another strong move back down. So the fact that this is at 400, remember, this was up here at what, 1200. This has dropped $800 pretty much. 750 to $800. It's coming back down to reality. This is what happens when you have a bubble. This stock was in a bubble. Everyone who was buying it up here in the 1200s, 1000 knew that it shouldn't be up there. When you get lucky like this in a market, you have to take profit and just stay away and just watch it. It was people that probably bought in here. They probably bought at 700, took it back up here to like 950, almost to 1,000. But then it came down again. These highs were unreachable. This is what I keep saying about NVIDIA. This high of what, 1217, we'd never seen that again. Went down, came back up, made a lower high at 1080. Came down, made a lower high at 999. Came down, made another lower high at 888, and it just kept doing that until it consolidated, and then it just dropped off again. And this bear flag that it's making is going to keep dropping. We may see this back at about $300, is what I'm seeing. And let me see. Yeah, it's at 412 now because of NVIDIA. Yeah, this is the bear flag. Down, up, down. This actually may go back to $200.
What's it going to do to the other chip stocks?
Oh, they're all down. If we look at, take your pick, all of them should have some red. Yep, red. What's another one? All of them should have some red. Yep, Micron, red. ARM should be red. All of the chip stocks, yep, red. NVIDIA is pulling all of them down. Also, NVIDIA is pulling down the S&P. You look at SMH, which is the semiconductor. Yep, it's pulling that down too. So, and we can see that this was going crazy. Went up to almost 300, 280 and 280, 282 and 283 was the highs. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I won't say ever again, but we may see that again in a few years. But again, now that AI is becoming just a household thing, it's just one of them stocks. You play the trend, you get out, and you move on. I had this issue with Tesla. Around the time that I started trading, Tesla was the hot stock. It was climbing, and I was trading Tesla for years, making thousands. And I was like, man, I can stay in this forever. I can hold this for the next 10 years. Tesla is at the same price that it was 4 years ago today. And Tesla was a high flying hot stock. But I didn't understand market trends at that time and how things become normal.
So when you had Tesla and you was trading it, and then it went down, so you were not able to capitalize on what you bought it at, or were you just trading? You were actively trading it, and you didn't lose any money, but somebody who bought and held lost money.
Yeah, no, I haven't lost any money on Tesla. As far as shares, I lost money on options, made money on options for sure, but shares, nope.
Gotcha.
But I know a lot of people that lost money, but it depends on where you got in at. If you got in Tesla, if you look at Tesla, again, Tesla was going crazy. Oh no, this is the 4 hour. Hold on. Let me show you we need to look even further. There we go. Look at the week. All right. So this is 2020. So if you got in Tesla anytime before February of 2020, Tesla was consolidating pretty much, just trading sideways. And this was before all the splits and all this other extra stuff. Tesla popped up, it doubled, and then it just went on a crazy run. So a lot of money to be made here from from March of 2020 all the way to October of 2021. A lot of money being made. November of 21, it peaked, went up to 410. We've never seen 410 again. Made a lower again. Nvidia's doing the same thing. Made a high, came down, went up, made a lower high, came down, went up, another lower high, and it just kept going down until the consolidated, and boom. Now it's back. We're back at 206.
So is it best to do puts if you were doing options then on NVIDIA at this time?
Yeah, it's on a downslide. It just depends on how much time you have on those puts.
Like buy time, like if you bought a month or two.
Yeah. If you buy time, then the puts are working on it. Because again, we know that it's in a bubble. We know, I mean, any sane investor knows that, okay, it's a bubble. But the tricky part is where does the ride stop? Where does this end? Yeah. No one knows.
I almost bought that leap for NVIDIA for a year. I would have been in trouble.
It depends on where you would have got out and where you would have got in.
Like I was going to end up buying it like maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe. I think it was at 90, almost between $90 and $100.
Oh,
okay, no, I'm good.
You would still be good. You said what, Ty?
Oh no, nothing. Never mind.
Yeah, if you would have bought that leap at 90, and even with the pullback today, you would still be in profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still be good. But I'm just saying, for these trending stocks, I just want people to try to get in their head that, one, we're not married to these stocks. We're not the CEO. These are not our companies. Two, just because the stock makes you money in 1 year doesn't mean it's going to make you money for the next 10 years. Right? Yeah. We've looked at plenty of stock that popped up during COVID to where we're like, oh, these are going to double and triple. 90% of those stocks are down like 50 or more percent.
Can you see what CrowdStrike did today?
Mm-hmm. You want to look at today. They had earnings, right? It looked like they shot up to, let me zoom in. So they shot up to where we must have charted this before, because I have support and resistance here, and it actually played in between it, which is crazy. So it shot up to our resistance at 275. It looked like it went 277, pulled back, touched 250, and then it closed at 257. So it went down from earnings, it looks like. So the earnings
that would have been the same situation in NVIDIA. If people was holding earnings, they would have lost on both sides.
Yep. You would have got toasted on both sides. Went up to toast the puts and came down to toast the calls.
Okay.
Yep. This is why I say just don't play earnings. Especially with options. They can just do this every time and nobody wins, except the people who are actually writing the contracts or the people who are buying shares.
If you were to write that contract, say Ty decided to take 100 of her shares and write that contract, how would she have won on the NVIDIA side?
It depends on if she's selling the calls or puts. So on NVIDIA, if she's selling calls, she would have won, because again, when you're selling calls, what you're doing is you're selling somebody a contract that they'll never be able to exercise. You don't want them to exercise your contract. So if Ty was to use 100 shares for collateral and to write a contract, let's say a 140 call, right? She wrote a 140 call that expired, I don't know, Friday. The goal when you're writing the contracts is to make sure that they cannot exercise on you, because if they can exercise on you, they're going to take your shares. So if she wrote a 140 call and right now is that, I don't know, 115, 116, that's ideal for Ty as the person who wrote the contract, because that is definitely not going to be able to be exercisable now. Nobody's exercising a 140 call and the stock just went down from earnings to 116, and it could bleed tomorrow down to 110.
Okay. And if she wrote puts?
If she wrote puts, then it just, I would add more time to those puts, and then it depends on the strike that you set. So if she set the strike at let's say 100, you still can't do anything with that option contract. And so that means that it's still going to expire worthless.
Okay.
So when you're writing contracts, you want them to expire without anyone doing anything to it, regardless if you're writing calls or puts. You're playing a game of keep away.
Okay.
Yep. So those are the people that can win on situations to where, you know, a stock bounces up and down like this.
So what happens if she wrote a contract for 130 strike price where people thought it would go to 130?
They will still be losing money. Ty would make money, but they will lose money. That would be ideal for Ty.
But if the stock price went up to 130 after earnings from wherever it was, 125, then they would be able to exercise that, right?
Yep. Which, this is the beauty of writing contracts, is that it's kind of a win-win, because if it goes up, let's say Ty bought in at 90 bucks, it goes up, she is writing contracts for 130, it goes up to 130, and they exercise the contract on her taking 100 shares. If they take 100 shares, they have to take the 100 shares at 130. If Ty got in at 90, she just made 40 bucks per share profit. So yeah, they take your shares, but they're just forcing you to take profit at that point.
Okay. Got it.
Yep.
You still with us, Ty?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to sell my shares of NVIDIA, but it's not going through. I wonder if it's an after hours thing.
Do you have after hours turned on?
Yeah.
How many are you trying to sell at one time? Maybe if you sell in smaller bunches, like just try to sell one and see if it goes through.
And should I do a limit or should I do a market sell?
Market probably. What is this? After hours? I'm thinking market. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think market. Yeah, you're going at the market rate if you sell it. Yeah, I think that it will actually pick up on the sale quicker if you sell at whatever the market price is for it, instead of setting your own limit.
Where do you see the price dropping to tomorrow for NVIDIA?
Ty, what time can you sell till? I thought market after hours was till like 8 p.m.
What time? I thought it was till 9.
Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I think it's 8. I mean, with 24-hour trading, and I think NVIDIA is, well, I don't know if you have 24-hour trading for NVIDIA on your platform. But I think 8 p.m. Eastern Standard is what that window stops at, I want to say, unless you have 24-hour trading turned on.
I didn't even know you could have 24-hour trading.
Oh, yeah. Robinhood has 24-hour trading. So like it could be 12 a.m. and I can just buy whatever is available on the 24-hour market. I can buy. And they've been adding like stocks here and there. There's also some legislation to where they're trying to just make every brokerage able to trade 24 hours. But it's only a select few now that can do it. And then there's only a select few tickers that you can do it with.
So is NVIDIA a 24-hour ticker?
Yep. On Robinhood it is. Again, it depends on the brokerage. Let me see.
I think she's on Interactive Broker. Ty, are you on Interactive Broker?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they would allow NVIDIA to. It should. I mean, it's one of the most popular stocks. It should be, if any. But I don't know if what is it, IBKR? I want to say. I don't know if they offer 24-hour trading. I know Robinhood does, and I know if, let me see who else. See something. Who else offer NVIDIA for 24-hour trading? I know there's a few that offer like ETFs. Yeah. Sorry, I'm on my other screen. Trading. Okay, Robinhood. It doesn't give me a list. It doesn't give me a list. I would have to look into it. But yeah, if it's not 24 hours, then it's normally 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. What do I see NVIDIA going tomorrow? So it broke this moving average right here, the 50 MA. It looks like it's caught right here at this level. So looking at the VRVP, there's a heavy, let me see, I'm pretty sure this is a heavy, where is it at? Oh, it just changed. All right, never mind. This is all the way, where are we at right now? 116. So we're looking here. Yep, no, I'm still right. There's buys right here. So you may see some buys take it up to about 118, 119. If it's going to go any higher, it has to break 120. 120 is the 50-day moving average. If it doesn't break 120 tomorrow and stays, like I would check it on the 4-hour and the 1 hour. If it doesn't break 120 and stay, honestly, I would feel more comfortable above 123. If it doesn't go above 120 to 123, then we could consolidate right here at about 116 and 115. The lowest I'm seeing 113 to flat, just 110 down here. The reason why I'm saying this 110 is because we got this 100 MA that's cruising on up, that's lining right up with this 110 level. So 110 right now is what I'm seeing. And again, if y'all haven't had any chance to look at the video in the Discord, this is exactly what I said. 110, worst case scenario. Now, something catastrophic would take us down to about 104, 105, which that didn't happen. So 110 and it's being propped up by this 100 MA is what I'm looking at for worst case scenario. To the upside, we need 120. 120 to 123 would be nice. But it looks like consolidation around 116 is what's happening now from earnings. So it also depends on the news cycle that's around. Are we going to get any price target downgrades? What do we get? Are we going to get upgrades, downgrades? What are the analysts going to say tomorrow? I mean, because they can see the percentages getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then they keep pulling these, like Ty said, rabbits out of a hat. Last time they said, hey, we're going to do a split. Perfect. Stock went up. This time they said, we're going to do a $50 billion buyback. It didn't work this time. They're running out of rabbits. Next time, what is it? Earnings are going down. The earnings are getting tighter and tighter. And I mean, you're all out of tricks. So it's a place to where we know that this is a bubble. Find the best place to get out. Once it comes back down to reality, again, I think this is rightly priced at about $90, $80 to $90. Easy buy point. Take it right back up to 120, potentially. I don't know if we're going to see like 140 again, but 120, 125 would be nice buying it from 90. But that's what I see for NVIDIA now.
So you see potential consolidation, downside 110. If it breaks below that, which I don't think it will.
Nah, I don't think it will either.
I don't think so. I think that big recession scare is a little bit behind us. But if it goes to 90, that could be a new entry.
Yeah.
But it could consolidate here because it's already, they said that NVIDIA would swing 10% either way because of the earnings. And it swung 10%.
Yep.
Down.
Yeah, it could be more tomorrow. Again, when people wake up tomorrow and see, okay, NVIDIA's down and it's still down, how are they going to react? And then all of the other AI stocks are getting toast too. So it's not just NVIDIA. So
Let's look at, can we look at a firm? It popped.
Yep. Again, I've been saying that a firm was going to be nice ever since Apple decided to throw in the towel. I didn't know it was going to pop from earnings, but
I think that this pop is overdone.
Think so? With these numbers?
You don't really?
A 70% surprise on earnings?
Okay. Do you think that it will continue? Let's look at the chart. Can I see all the indicators?
Yep.
So it's official. I have a hard time selling. I have a really hard time selling.
That's okay. I mean, so if you have a hard time, this is one thing I had to learn. When I had a hard time selling, I had to realize why. So why do I have a hard time selling? The reason why I have a hard time selling is because I'm human. Right? Then I said, okay, well, how do I help myself sell? Automate the process. Set a sell at a certain level and leave it. It takes the emotions out of it. It takes everything out of it. You do all your calculations, you use all your logic, set a sell at a certain point and leave it. If it triggers and it sells, cool.
Ladarius, I heard Ty said she had problems like trying to get the trailing stop and everything in. I was having the same problem. Since stop losses are so important, can you take the two platforms we're using and just make a class so we can ensure that we know how to properly
That would help a lot. I
do
use BK.
yes,
I've
a
been having
stop
a lot of
loss
problems.
and a trailing stop loss, because like I know how to put orders in on my phone on Webull, but when it comes to the desktop, that's what I was going to ask Mark to help me. Like, let's go week through week and just like try to learn that, because it's great that you're telling us all this, but sometimes when we're trying to jump in, I was trying to do a stop loss, but it was making me do a take for profit. And I was like, I don't know where I want to put that. I wanted to leave that open, but I just wanted to put my stop loss in and it wouldn't let me. And I was getting frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. So you all just want stop loss and trailing stop loss, right?
Yeah. And
How does that?
we can walk through it. Let that be like a whole class. And if you're doing both brokerages, we can be assured that you're like, hey, I told you how to do a stop loss. And if you
Okay.
record it, other people could have it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. Send me, send me a message with the names of your brokerages, and yeah, we can do a live class. That way you all can ask questions, I can have research, and we can just sit and just walk through it. We can compare it to charts. I can say, look, this is how I'm setting it according to my support and resistance that I labeled on my chart.
Yeah, because one of the things I was wondering is like, I say you get into a trade and you don't set the stop loss at the beginning, but the trade's going and you're going, okay, I want to now put a stop loss in. And it wasn't letting me. And then I was like, I don't know. And it's the same thing. I think the desktops are different than the mobile. So, like I said, I don't know how much time you're going to have, but like I use Webull and I also have an account at Thinkorswim, but I haven't figured out how to use the Thinkorswim desktop yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and I think when we do this together, I can actually see like where y'all are trying to put it. Like where are you trying to put the stop loss, or like what input are you putting in for the stop loss? Because I think that could be the issue.
Okay.
But yeah, we can look at it together. Matter of fact, we'll make the whole class next time about stop losses.
Yeah, because I think they're important.
Extremely.
I know I lost money without that stop loss in there, or saying manually, because sometimes you got manually, you set it in your head, I'm going to do it, but
Oh yeah, and then before you know it, the trade is already running.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the next class we'll just talk stop losses. We can talk inputs, outputs, setup, expectations, how close to support resistance, if you want to put it right on top of support resistance, so on and so forth.
By the time you walk us through, if you just did stop losses, that's going to take the whole class.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We'll just do stop losses only.
Yeah, because if you walk through like interactive brokers, okay, Ty, get your phone up and you have it on the screen and you're walking through, okay, press this, now press that. Because that's what I need. I was like, show me how I am not putting it in there on something, because I tried on 2 different days to do a stop loss on AMD and it was not going in.
Yeah, it's not happening for me either. Even now, like I'm not able to sell, and I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Next time, what I'm going to do is just change the title of the class for next Wednesday, just in case anybody else have issues with stop losses. And we can look at trailing stop losses. We can look at, we'll just make it all about stops, how to get out of a trade, how to take profit. We'll do it like that. Does that work?
Yeah, because is it different, Darius, if you're in the trade and you're just trying to do a stop loss versus setting it up from the beginning? Is it like a different procedure? Because I thought it was like whether you did it in the beginning or right after you went into the trade, you should be able to go in and do it. But it looks like it's different.
I would have to look at it, but I think once you enter the trade, you can go ahead and set where you need to get out at. Like for instance, if you let's think about stop losses with just shares. If I bought 10 shares of a firm at, I don't know, $30, and then as soon as I buy it, since I own it, I can now say, okay, I need to be out of this stock at $40. So if it hits $40, sell all 10 shares. I think that will be the logical way and that's the way that I normally set it up. Once I'm like, if I buy a group of, let's say I bought First Solar, I'm looking at, okay, where's my support? Where's my resistance? Okay, I'm getting out at this point. I'm setting my exit right here. I'm setting my exit at, I don't know, 250. I bought it at 230. I need to get out at 250 after I've already bought it. So okay, this is good. All right, so next time, whole class is just dedicated to this. That way, you all won't have to worry about it, because you're right, it's extremely important. And if you're in a winning trade, but you don't know how to get out, you can lose money just waiting or just trying to, figure out how to get out.
Yeah, because even here, I'm putting in the order to sell at market. It's not going through.
Yeah, it may be a
907.
time thing with yours, Ty. I don't know what time restrictions.
Sell 80, and it says at NASDAQ.NMS. I don't know what that is.
Let me look. Let me stop the recording 1 second.